Hi everybody, this is Blossom,
Hello, I'm Bear.
and today we are at a very special place, and we want to talk about the oak tree, the seventh tree in the Ogham. And yeah, I filmed already a few things here because this is a very magical place, and yeah, if you get something, please leave it in the comments because I'm very curious to see if you get something here or not. However, so for the oak tree, we can find the oak tree in the tree calendar from June 10th till July 7th. The letter is D. The animals associated with it is white horse, salamander and wren. The colors are black, dark brown and gold, and the flower associated with it is coltsfoot.
So let's talk about the lore and legend. The oak tree is a primary chieftain tree, held above all others. In earlier times, the Elizabethan navy felled so many oaks to build their ships that it almost became extinct until it became the first tree species to be protected by legislation. We can find a famous ancient oak in Windsor Great Park, from which Herne the hunter is said to ride out for the wild hunt every Samhain.
There's also the major oak of Sherwood Forest, where Robin Hood took refuge, and then there are also the famous oaks in Glastonbury, Gog and Magog, which bear the name of two ancient British giants. These ancient watchers were set to guard the gates of Avalon, and once they formed the head of an avenue of oaks leading towards the Glastonbury Tor, and believed to have been a ceremonial path used by the Druids. Now, when I talk about Gog and Magog, because I want to address here something that annoys me a lot. This year, one of those two trees burned, so it lit fire, and only because people, so-called pagans, leave their candles at this place. So one tree is already dead, and it's very dry, and somebody left a candle in a hollow thing of the tree. So it burned completely. It was completely on fire. And this is a thing I really... You see that so often at sacred spaces, that so-called pagans leave candles or their so-called offerings again. And it's garbage, people. It's garbage. So when you visit a sacred place and you want to leave offerings, make sure you can take them with you. Again, you can go back the day after and pick it up again. Or leave something else, like song or energy or pure love or whatever you like. But don't leave behind the garbage and no fire. It should be common sense, but apparently it's not, because it's still happening. We should be more clever than that, but yeah, well, sorry about that, but it really annoys me.
Right, yeah, I can understand. Gog and Magog, when we were there, they were really precious, and the vibes were really fantastic there. And to see it hurt like that because somebody left the candle burning is very sad, so please think about your actions. So also we got a legend from Wales that tells of Merlin's oak, a tree said to have been planted from an acorn by the magician himself on the outskirts of Carmarthen. I think we might blend that in. Which is said to have been his birthplace. He laid on his tree a powerful spell of protection, which would bring disaster to the town if the tree ever were to be felled. The tree lived to a great age before it was struck by lightning and burnt, but even then its blackened trunk was preserved behind railings for over a century. When it was eventually removed to make way for a roundabout, Carmarthen was badly flooded.
The name for oak in Irish, Dara, or in the Ogham, Duir or Duir, share the roots for the word druid, which means one with the wisdom of the oak. Traditionally, the druid's grove was amongst oak trees, or it focused upon a single oak. The Druids' close association with the oak trees show its significance as an access point to spirit and even deity, a signifier of the values of they held dear. Sometimes it is even argued that Druids worshipped the tree themselves. The oak was highly revered as representatives of the gods and served as manifestation points and centers of focus for magic and spiritual practice. The Oak King is always a well-known representation of male sovereignty and the fertility god of the green world. The primary purpose of kingship is to protect and provide for the people, and using power in a responsible manner. This lesson was drawn from the hawthorn that we've discovered last week. From there comes the purpose for energy, development and the right use of power earned from rising to the challenges of the goddess.
So Duir, what does that mean? It means door, or as well, oak tree. Oak groves are places where the other world, the sky world and the world of earth meet. Oak trees are guardian spirits, providing the ability of shamanic flight between the worlds and encouraging spiritual development. At the same time, they provide stability and strength. They are father figures and guardians of the soul's journey. The Oak King is the king of summer. As such, he is one half of the god's dual nature, the other half being, of course, the Holly King, the hunter god of winter and the underworld.
Duir or Duir also means rutting deer. Its root word deru, I don't know, you can roll the R.
Deru.
Very good. Developing into meaning oak, door and stag. There are connections between the oak, stags, various Celtic gods such as Canunos and Lulo Giffus. That's wrong, but I say Giffus, as well as several mysterious antlered goddesses. With oak, we have a symbol of kingship at the height of power and ability. That power is gained by holding and correctly wielding the life force, not by denying it. It is also connected to the Celtic god of storms and lightning, Taranis, and the god Thor. Oak trees which have been hit by lightning are especially magical and of the greatest druidic significance.
Timber circles or woodhenges, as for example Woodhenge, close to Stonehenge in Wiltshire, are made of oak. At Seahenge in Norfolk in the UK, there is a circular enclosure of oak posts enclosed in an inverted oak stump, which was clearly of ritual significance. These give testimony to the oak's great importance as axis mundi, or world trees, the central point upon which all existence turn.
Perhaps the henge structures were a representation of the gods themselves, to boast the Celts and their Neolithic ancestors, but we will probably never know that for sure. And here comes again a bit of a nerdy association. So we have also a very cool representation of the acorn in The Hobbit. And this acorn represents all the hope that Bilbo has that he will return back to his home and that he can take this acorn with home, plant in his garden, and that the oak will grow afterwards.
Yeah, so he can remember all the time, the good times, the bad times. He said that so very nicely.
It was a moment.
Yeah, it was a very eye-watering moment. I think something else you can mention is that the Green Man is very often represented with oak leaves and an acorn as well. I think you should mention him. Personally, I really associate with the Green Man. So I just wanted to mention that too.
Yeah, and often, the Green Man, well, you can start a whole discussion on that. So Hornet God became Green Man at some point. Then you have the Oak King that we talked about became Green Man. So there's a whole wishy-washy in lore and legend, so just take whatever
You
resonates.
feel comfortable with, really.
Exactly.
'Cause
So
even Robin Hood was associated with the Green Man.
yeah.
So, as he lived under a tall oak too. But just wanted to mention it.
Okay.
So let's get to the magical uses. You can use the acorns for love and fertility magic. Lovers used to place acorns in a bowl of water to see if they would stay together. If the acorns drifted apart, so would the couple in due time. A spell from the 14th century to prevent unfaithfulness of wives was to place 2 halves of an acorn under a woman's pillow. You can wear an acorn necklace during your magic work to contact the oak's great strength and sovereignty.
Acorns are also useful to connect with the hunter gods and goddesses, and those who are associated with lightning such as Thor, Taranis, Zeus, as well as Andraste, Bridget or Danu. Acorns are useful for contacting any ruler-type god, as the oak occupies such a central, pivotal position in all tree magic. Oak, as both the door and the guardian between the realms, can be seen as a magical passport, offering access and protection to all realms. Acorns can be used as charms to attract love, good luck, fertility, wealth, or security. Carefully inscribe them with what you want to attract and leave them to do their work. After a while you can bury them, and they will continue to work as the tree grows or the acorn returns to the soil. You can also burn the acorns, the leaves or the bark as an incense, either alone or in a blend for empowerment, divination, healing or journeying, or for love and money magic.
To protect yourself against storms, lightning, you can inscribe acorns or oak wood with the name Taranis. Oak galls, or also called oak apples, were used for divination to predict the fate of the nation as a whole. The gall was broken open at special times of the year, probably Beltane or Samhain, and its contents foretold what was to come for the following season. Ants inside foretold a good harvest, a spider meant pestilence, a maggot meant sickness, a worm, famine, and a flying insect meant war.
I hope for the ants then.
Yeah.
Oaks are magically connected to the mistletoe. Mistletoe was called Druidlus, the druid's herb, as well as all heal, due to its many healing and magical properties. These are thought to vary depending on what tree the mistletoe grows upon. Mistletoe growing on the oak has different properties from mistletoe growing on any other tree it colonized, such as the apple tree. The combination of oak and mistletoe in magical working lends extra power and manifestation potential, as well as extreme fertility. In earlier times, mistletoe was hung over beds for fertility and to ensure healthy pregnancy. If you add oak, it will help with becoming a good parent and provider. Oak wood helps center the mind, allowing it to focus on the task at hand and ignore distractions. Oak helps promote both observation and intuition. Oak magic inspires bravery, presence, leadership skills, prosperity and strength. And then some things that I personally have, I mentioned that already in one video before. I have oak leaves in my car to protect my journey and my travels with the car, because I associate the oak with Thor, and Thor is, travel journey protector, even if it's not by ship.
That's true. Ever since we got the oak leaves in the car, nothing really bad has happened at all. So.
Honestly, nothing really bad happened before, but
No, okay. Well.
just making sure. So now we come to the healing part.
Now, what can we say about the healing? Well, you can use oak galls for healing, or you can bind stripes of bark into a bundle and ask the oak for its assistance as you tie it. Ask the tree to help you with healing, whether for yourself or another, and tell it what you need to happen. Ask for its advice, as well as its magical assistance. Don't forget to ask the tree's permission first. and allow plenty of time for quiet so that you may hear its messages. The ball may be then charged in sunlight and worn by those in need of healing. When the work is done, the bundle or the gall should be laid upon the earth or buried so the illness can be earthed and transformed.
A foot wash made of oak leaf tea soothes weary feet and also helps one to find the right path through life. Water found in the trunk's nooks is especially magical and would be understood as a vibrational essence today. But of course, this water is not safe to drink.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
As a vibrational essence, oak is a great empowerer, helpful to find the energy to fight against great difficulties without loss of hope or draining of energy. It applauds courage and can also instill it in those who are trying hard to endure. Oak can help you to discover your inner sovereignty by holding and developing your inner authority and mastery, leading to a greater ability for kindness and responsibility. It is also a powerful spirit ally that protects your connection across the worlds and keeps you grounded and present in this process. Oak can also help if you have difficulties to reintegrate into ordinary reality after going into an alternative reality such as ritual, extended spiritual practice, meditation, retreat or shamanic journey, which is very I just see the doggy climbing up there. So which is really important that you come back, that you are present, rooted, grounded, rooted, and in the present moment when you go on, after meditation or journeying and stuff. So that's important, and can help you with that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So the last part, divination.
Divination. Wow. Oak teaches strength, security, and the ability to sustain growth over a long period of time, and through all kinds of circumstances. It encourages you to open the doors of your perception that allow you to do and be more than you were before. In addition, to assimilate this new way of being. Oak is a symbol of growth on all levels, materially, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, via the connection in yourself between earth and sky, divinity and matter. As it is so closely connected to sovereignty, it encourages right action and being fully present and conscious of your actions, embodying wholeness and nobility.
Remember that Duir means gate or door. So watch out when you get this in a reading. Watch out for unexpected opportunities and take advantage of them. Oak may lead you to discoveries you may never have realized existed. Your journey may take many slow years or decades, but the outcome will be worth it in the end. It reminds you to use your spiritual gifts and to have faith in the vision of what you are working towards. On the more shadowy side, it can also indicate a stubborn strength which resists and breaks in the storm. So it can be a reminder to be a bit more flexible. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's everything I have for the oak. So do you have any thoughts?
Well, personally, I've been very connected since a very young age with the oak tree. It's always been my favourite tree. It's always been around me, and I just love sitting under it, especially this one here at this place in our woods really close by. We come here often. We just sit and contemplate under this tree. It's personally, I really love it here.
Well, that's it then for today. Thank you very much for doing another video.
Well, thank you very much for having me again.
It's so formal what we do here.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, dude. Alrighty, so, and thank you very much for watching. Much love and blessings, and bye.
Bye-bye.